is the 6th day of full-time classes. I just finished the classes today, and today is the 1st of September 2021. So I thought I'll do a brief update today. So in introduction to computer science, where mainly Python is the language we're learning. What we are doing is we are learning more properties of Python, about how to use Python languages, various commands, and then in introduction to computer science, where we are learning C++, same thing, more practice about commands. And in the other subject, which is about hardware, we are learning about transistors and circuits and different gates, like the AND gate and the NOT gate, and the NAND gate, the not AND gate, OR gate, and so on. And in algebra, we are learning more formulae of algebra, and how to basically solve for x, solve for y, and so on, like square roots and squares, and x to the power of so and so, and how to solve equations. That's what we're learning. So the experience so far is that in Python, which is Introduction to Computer Science actually, as we go deeper, it is starting to get a little confusing. Of course, there's learning, and it's amazing how much we have learned just in 6 classes, considering the beginning part was introductions and housekeeping discussions. So we did the first assignment, and very soon the second assignment will be due. So I think there is decent progress compared to the efforts we are putting, and compared to the speed of progress. And for the C++, same thing. There is good learning going on, and there's good practice, but again, the comment about these languages, C++ and Python, is that you can't do it overnight. It takes time to learn these languages, but as long as you keep at it and keep practicing, it gets better. And with regards to hardware, again, we are learning the basics, like binary and decimals, how to convert binary to decimals, and decimals to binary to decimals, and so on, and how to add binary numbers and subtract binary numbers, and so on, and the relationship between binary and switches like off and on, and 1 and 0, these relationships. And algebra, is basic high school algebra. Like algebra is still, nothing too tough about it. So the status so far after 6 full days is that, like, algebra is a breeze. Like, I'm not struggling at all with algebra. There's nothing new I've learned so far, except it's like a refresher. I'm sure there's going to be more difficult topics as time goes by, but even hardware, you find it kind of straightforward, because in hardware you have to memorize, and you have to learn, and you have to understand and remember, right? That's what a hardware is. And it's a lot like, it makes you feel good that you feel like you're learning engineering. It's almost like you're learning electrical engineering or electronics engineering. So that makes you feel really good about yourself. Of course, computer science is about programming mainly, but also you need to understand the basics of hardware to understand how computers work. And the languages, that's a little bit of a struggle, because you can get overwhelmed with a lot of information. So that it needs effort, it needs practice. You know that 10,000 hour rule, right? Which is like, to become an expert on any subject matter, you need to spend 10,000 hours working on it, and then you will get to a degree of becoming a master in that. So so at this time, in the second week, after 6 days of full day of classes, I feel pretty happy that there's good progress, but also I feel there's a need for more efforts, more hard work, and even in class you can see that some students are doing better than others. Like some students bring with them experience of previous programming knowledge, and some students are still struggling. In my case, when I grew up in India and went to high school, we didn't have too much of computer programming classes. I remember back then it was just DOS. Like, we did have computers a little bit, but we were just learning DOS, I guess. I'm sure we didn't have Python, or we didn't have all these newer languages, but not to complain. I mean, there is an opportunity now, and I'm still learning, right? So that's my feedback after 6 full days of classes. It is interesting. I am still happy that I'm in the program, and the instructors try to do a really good job. They try hard to make sure we learn. And also today, the instructor told us that we have tutors. There's 3 tutors in C++. So if anytime you need help to learn, you can book a session with the tutors, and they'll give you personal coaching. And the instructor also said that one advantage of the tutors could be that they could teach you their own tips and tricks from what they have learned. And I hope to get the help of tutors and learn with time, and also do a lot of learning on my own. I guess the main important thing is to get onto Spider and practice for Python, and get onto Visual Studio and practice for C++. And with time, I'm sure things will get better. But there's not just learning of languages, but there's also learning of the context, and learning of the background and the history, and the future trends and projected trends and so on. So there's one part where you learn computer languages, but there's also the part where you're getting used to the field, the science, and you're getting comfortable with the field, and you're adapting to the new scenario where you are in this field of study. So I think there's good progress, and I'm happy so far. And do I still recommend everybody to do studies in computer science? Yes, definitely. As time goes by, you realize how important it is. For everything in today's life, we need software, we need computers, and these lines of code have to be maintained, have to be developed and improved. So there's a huge demand for software engineers.
Say a command.
And definitely, this is a good field with good potential, good future. And I still say, if you have a chance, go learn a language, take a boot camp, or join a course, or start a degree program, whatever situation of life you're in, it's still a good decision. So those are my thoughts for today. Again, today is the 1st of September 2021, and I am in my second week of the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science program. Alrighty, have a good day. Take care. Cheers.